Shalom, shalom, Bayaf Yasha'Allah. Akakabasha now with WFI Detroit. Coming at you with a quick video, man. Right, first and foremost, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashema Mashiach, Wamalak Yahushua. It's all praises to the Heavenly Father in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world will ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, man, the anointed Savior, Yasha'Allah, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you Israelites, according to the Bible. Right, in today's topic, we're going into who is the serpent from the garden, man. Right, who is the serpent today from the garden? Right, because the serpent got certain curses placed upon them, right? And those curses will have to play out today, man. Right? So we go straight to it. Right? We'll get that in the book of Genesis. Right, now this is the first account of the serpent. Right, this is the book of Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Now, the first thing you got to understand, right, Slock, your brother said I'm froze. Am I froze? We good? Put a con if y'all can hear me. Put a con if y'all can hear me. Somebody comment said froze. All right, somebody put a con if y'all can hear me. All right, all praises. All right, so now first and foremost, right, that serpent isn't talking about an actual snake, man. It wasn't a talking snake with Eve in the garden. Right, that's folly, that's Greek mythology, that's Christianity, that's bogus. The serpent is an actual man, right? And there's other accounts of men being called serpents or being called snakes or beasts in the Bible. And we're going to bring it up, right? So just to show that men are considered beasts, right? Get a couple of precepts, right? Because first and foremost, you got to understand the serpent is a man, right? That's the first step. So the book of Matthew chapter 3, right, in verse 7, it says, but, matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 4. Right, John, it's like in Matthew 3 and 4, it says, and the same John had his raiment of camel's hair and the leathern girdle about his loins, and his meat was locusts and wild honey. Then went out to him Jerusalem and all Judea and all the region round about Jordan, and were baptized of him in the Jordan, confessing their sins. But when he saw of the Pharisees and the Sadducees come to his baptism, he said unto them, O generation of vipers, who have warned you to flee from the wrath to come. Right, so the Lord, it's like, so John, he called the Pharisees and Sadducees, he called them vipers, man. He called them snakes, man. Like, you damn cunning, conniving bastard. Who told you all about this? Right? It's hip talk. It's slang. Jake today called people snakes, man. They call people rats. So it's like if Jake was to write down the story of his nation right now, he'd say, and he such and such became a rat. And 1,000 years later, somebody, Esau tried to break it down, they'd think it's an actual rat. And that's what they'd put. Because they carnal, they don't understand the slang and the hip talk of the Bible. Or what our people speak now. We speak that now. Right, you literally call people snakes now. Right, so he called them a bunch of snakes. Right, so let's get another account. Right, men being called different animals. Right, this is just hip talk. Right, slang for lack of better terms. Right, this is the book of Luke chapter 13 and verse 31. The same day there came certain of the Pharisees, saying unto him, get thee out and depart hence, for Herod will kill thee. Right? And this, when they tell Yahushua, right, Herod is going to kill you, man. You should flee. And he said unto them, go ye and tell that fox, behold, I cast out devils and do cures today, and tomorrow and the third day I shall be perfected. So these are different examples of the nations, or Slakia of Israel calling other men different animals of the Bible, right? Like the brother just said, they say, cut the grass and the snakes will show. Right, so hey, Jake got all these parables and wise sayings, man, that they say today, right? And where that come from? Because nothing new under the sun, like the scriptures say, right? In fact, let me get that, man, right? Let's go ahead and pour the precept. right? It's the book, bear with me, it's the book of Ecclesiastes, right? Chapter 1, verse 9, right? Chapter 1 and verse 9. It says, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So it's no new thing under the sun, man. So Jake was speaking hip talk then, they speak hip talk now, right? And it's a lot of the same hip talk, right? They say the fruit of your loins, man. That's my seed right there. Right? We say the same stuff, man. Right? Call people snakes and rats. Right? So the serpent is an actual man on the earth. All right? Let's get another precept on that, man. Because men are literally considered beasts. So that's step one to understand that, man. Right? These precepts, it's the book. In fact, I think it's one I might want to see. This is one that's all right, Salaki. Let's go ahead and get this in the book of Psalm, right? Classic precepts. It's the book of Psalm, chapter 49, verse 22. Right, and it's like it, Psalms 49, verse 20. It says, man that is in honor and understandeth not is like the beast that perish. Right, so a man that has that doesn't have understanding, although he's a king or a so-called ruler, if he doesn't have understanding, he's compared to a beast that perish, man. Right, so men are compared to beasts in the Bible on multiple accounts. Right, Hamashiach Yahushua, he called a Herod a fox, man. Right, John the Baptist called the Sadducees and Pharisees, he called them vipers, man. Called them snakes, man. Right, so all throughout the Bible, that hip talk has been used. Let me get one more. Right, it's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 8. Right, book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 8, verse 29. It says, let it not be thy will to destroy them which have lived like beasts, but to look upon them that have clearly taught thy law. Right, so he said, don't look upon them that live like beasts. They was without the commandments. They was wilding the hell out, man. Right? Look upon them, to have mercy on them that's actually keeping the law. All right, I'm going to actually get one more. All right, Salaki. All right. Men being called different types of beasts. You got fox, vipers, serpents, right? And you got dogs, right? It's the book of Revelation, chapter 22, and verse 15. It says, I'm going to start at 14. It says, blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth to make a lie. Right, so it's playing upon tables, man. The Lord straight up told them they're beasts, man. And the brother pulled a beautiful precept, Titus 1 and 2, man. Right? He literally called them an evil beast, man. Right? The damn Cretians, man. Right? So all throughout the Bible, men were called beast dogs. Right? Different damn. Hey, you saying no? Hey, that's my dog right there. Is you talking about your actual pet, man? Talking about your so-called homeboy, man. Hey, that's my dog, man. So all these so-called slang, it's nothing new under the sun, man. Jake speak these parables now, right? You speak these slang terms now, right? So when you're dealing with the serpent of the field, it's talking about out of all the nations, right? Out of all the beasts, all the nations of the world, right? You got this one cunning person. He's known as the serpent, right? Coming in the spirit of a serpent because they slither, right? You don't know when they coming, man. You just get bit and poisoned. Right, and just touching on, it says that the field, right, the field is the world. Right, get a quick precept on that. That's the book of Matthew, right, chapter 13. It's like in verse, bear with me. Bear with me. Field is the world, right? Because the field literally represents the world. I'm trying to find that precept. Where is it in Luke? Right, bear with me. It's like, yeah, it's right here. The book of Matthew chapter 13, verse 38 says, the field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. Right, so the field is the world, man. All right, according to the scripts, I keep grabbing the pocket. All right, so we're going to go back to that. It's the first account of the serpent being mentioned, man. Right? Book of Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent, right, which is a man, was more subtle than any beast of the field, right? Than any other nation out of all the people. He was more subtle than all of them, which the Lord God had made, and said unto the woman, ye have said, have God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Right? So then the serpent began to beguile Eve. Now the serpent is back on earth today, man. Right, in the form of a man. All right, let me go get that. Right, it's the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 9. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Now this is going into end time prophecy. The serpent, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, will still be dwelling here on the earth, man. Right? And it's none other than the so-called white man. Right? We're going to cut to the chase. The serpent is the so-called white man, man. Right? Manifest back on the earth today. All right? Because his damn philosophies is poison unto you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. All right? Let me get that, man. Right, that's who the serpent is, man. It's Esau, all right? We got to prophesy against Esau in this thing, man. Right? This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 32. It says, for their vine is of the vine of Sodom and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall. The clusters are bitter, man. Right, so they have a damn Sodom is their vine, man. Right, that's what their fruit is, man. That's what they bring forth, man. Sodomy, man. Right, bestiality, all kind of perversion, man. All kind of wickedness and madness according to the law, man. Right, all kind of fornication. Right, it's Deuteronomy 32 and 32. Right, verse 33, it says their wine. Right, that's going into their doctrine. Their wine is the poison of dragons, the cruel venom of apes, right? A venomous snake, man. That's what their doctrine is. Because the doctrine, it doesn't kill you, right? It doesn't kill you right away. It kills you slowly, man. Christianity slowly kills you, man. Right? All these doctrines and philosophies of the Esau of the world, they slowly drain you, man. Your life force is just going down bit by bit, man. Every time you smoke a damn blunt. Every time you just damn being a freak, man. Right? All hell breaking loose and you just damn losing life, man. You poisoned, man. And you don't even know it. Right? You literally been bit by a venomous snake when you dealing with Esau, man. That's why this is what the Lord said, man. Right? But bear with me, the book of Sirach. It's like it. Chapter 12, verse 13, it says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? Right? Like when damn the crocodile hunter, man, got put to death by a stingray. Hey man, how can you pity him? You out there wrestling with alligators and sharks, man. And you going the hell off, man. So we can't pity you if you get bit by a damn snake, man. We sitting here telling you Esau's the devil. Esau's the devil. Right? Telling you till we blue in the damn face, man. Right? He's the devil the Bible speaks of. You got to separate. And then you end up getting bit, man. And now that venom is taking you out, man. Hey, we can't pity that, man. Because we told you. The Lord told you. Hey, separate from your enemies. These people are the serpent. They're the deceivers of the earth, man. Right? It says, so no one It's like, so one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity. Right, so you defiled, man, dealing with the doctrines of the world, man. So we can't really pity you because you entertaining a snake, man. Like they say, oh, Edomites ain't bad. Okay, well, guess what? If you got 100 snakes outside, man, your damn house, right, and they say, hey, man, about 3 of them's good, you ain't gonna walk in the pile of snakes to find the good ones, man. You go avoid the snakes altogether, man. Right, and hey, that's in the Bible, man. Right? That you will flee, that he actually uses that as an example, man. I'm gonna bring this up. It's the book of it's the book of Sirach 21 and verse 2. It says, flee from sin as from the face of a serpent, man. So the Lord said, flee from sin just like you would flee from a damn serpent, man. All right? Because a serpent is something you're supposed to flee from. But you're entertaining. You're being a charmer, right? Blowing a damn flute so the snake can damn dance like you're an Elamite, man. So when you get bit, hey, we ain't gonna pity you, man. Because we telling you right now, the serpent from the garden is Esau, the so-called white man, right? So don't get bit, man, right? Let's bring it up, man. Right, because this is the literal curses that was placed upon the serpent, right? It's the book of Genesis chapter 3. Right, and it's like your verse 13. It says, and the Lord God said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Like she ate of the doctrine of what the serpent gave her, man. I like the so-called white man. He come up to Eve. They attack Eve first, man, because they know that's the weaker vessel. They attack Eve. Say the black woman is God, exalt the woman, and then she eats of that doctrine. And now she's beguiled and all defiled in her mind. Right? That's how the serpent moves, man. That's how Esau get down. He been moving like a snake, man. Right? Get this account, man. He been moving like that, man. Like a damn. See that, man? This is the book of 1 Maccabees, right? Chapter 2. And see where I want to start. Right, verse 15. Right, 1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 15. Right, like the sister said, sneaky, man. Right, they sneaky and cunning, man. And this is an example. Check this out. Right, it says, in the mean, while the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city of Modin to make them sacrifice. And when many of Israel came into them, Mattathias also and his sons came together. Then answered the king's officers. Right, just so you know what's going on, this is basically the so-called white man entering into a city called Modin, basically trying to get them to sacrifice unto damn Hercules. Right, Zeus, all these false damn gods, man. Right, to get Israel to sin and go off under the authority of Antiochus Epiphanes, man. That wretched devil, man. All right. And it says, then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias on this wise, thou art a ruler and an honorable and a great man in the city, and strengtheneth with sons and brethren. Now therefore come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem. Right? So shall thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver, gold, and many rewards. So he's trying to entice them. Say, just come, since you mighty, they'll follow you. We gonna get you to go first. Then they'll follow, and we'll make you, you'll be amongst the king's friends. You will have silver, gold, and much reward, man. So he was trying to beguile him, man. Entice him, give him gifts, man. But hey, he wasn't having that. He ended up putting him to death. But nonetheless, he was moving like a serpent, like a snake, man. To even think, hey, he's the mighty man. We kind of been watching him. They all follow him. If we just get him these rewards, just throw rewards at him, he can get that. And as people go off and That's how the so-called white man moves, like a damn serpent, man. Like a sneaky, cunning bastard, man. All throughout the book of Maccabees, man, you see that. Right? They moving like a snake, man. Because that's who they are. They're the serpent, man. Right? So we go back to that in Genesis, right? Genesis chapter 3, right? In verse 14, it says, "And the Lord said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field." Right? So what does it mean by they're cursed above all cattle? Right? The so-called white man, he's literally going to he's the only nation that's going to get exterminated off the face of the earth. Right? Every other nation, they're going to have their own allotted lands. Right? But Esau, they're never going to have any kind of retribution at all. Like they're never going to get, they're just going to be hardcore bondage and death. Right? They're the only nation that's promised that. Right? Let me get that. That's surely go get fulfilled, man. Right? You get that, man. Bear with me. Small pages in this thing, man. All right. Book of Obadiah, right? Chapter, it's like here. Obadiah 18, it says, "In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, in the house of Esau for stubble. They shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken." So the Lord go completely eradicate the so-called white man from off the face of the earth, man. That's justice right there, man. Right? He's letting them pile up his wickedness so high so he can be just and righteous to take them out, because he's a cancer to the earth. Right? So he's cursed above all cattle. Also, hey, everybody has melanin. Esau doesn't have melanin. He's the first red man on earth, man. Right? No pigmentation. Wasted away is he, man. Right? Red. He's a devil, man. So the Lord just cursed him above all cattle. He's the most feeble nation. Right? The smallest nation, can't reproduce. Right? The slow. Well, I don't know if he's the slowest, man. You know, Elam and Moab. You be on them damn phones talking to them customer service agents, man. You be about to damn jump through the phone, man. But you know, they're the most feeble nation, man. Right? It's the book of Genesis. Right? Reading on chapter 1. It's like we're still in verse 14. It says, "And above every beast of the field, upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life." Now, what does that mean? He's going to be at the bottom now. He's going to eat dust all the days of his life. Go upon his belly, man. Right? That's what it means, man. But, of course, it's a slick metaphor, because he's talking to a serpent. You know, serpents go in their belly. Because you got people that read this and think the snakes was walking and now they crawling because they did this to Eve. And that's madness, man. Right? You see that? So they're going to be eating dust, man. Right? You get this, man. Right? Here's an example of Esau eating the dust, man. Right? It's the book of Psalms chapter 72. And Slacky. Bear with me. Verse 8. It says, I'm going to just get the point. Verse 9. "They that dwell in the wilderness shall bow before him, and his enemies shall lick the dust," man. So they go lick the dust off our feet, man. And being in the dust mean you at the lowest state, man. You in the ground, you in the dirt, man. And that's what they go be. They go be, the wicked is going to be turned into hell. Right? Let me get that. Right? The wicked, they're going to turn into hell. Right? They're going to turn. Get that. The book of Psalm chapter 9 verse 17. "The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God." That's them going into that lowest state. Them falling from the damn heavens in this so-called mighty state that they're in, man. Right? Let's get more on that, man. You gotta love the judgment of the so-called white man. It's a beautiful thing, man. Right? Unless you're a damn coon bug out, man. See that? See, that's something else, man. Even when somebody fall, they say he bit the dust. Right? It's Same Proverbs, man. Same Proverbs from old. It's the book of Psalm, chapter 20, right, in verse 6. It says, I'm starting at 5. It says, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach into the clouds, yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Right, so they're going to say, where the hell is Esau, man? Esau's going to be gone. Like, he's going to literally be eradicated. They're like, where is Esau? Right? Laughing, taunting him. Like, check this out, man. Esau's finished, man. Right? It says, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yet he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. So that's beautiful, man. So the Lord literally is saying they're going to eat the dust forever. They're going to be cursed above all cattle. We're not going to see them anymore. They're going to literally be eradicated, man. And this is their judgment from the beginning, man. Right? And the prophets kept going in on it, man. Right? And we go get some of that, man. Because, hey, you can't, refute the prophecies. Right? And the precepts. Right? It's the book of Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations, man? So we go take up that proverb and say, look, man. How did you fall, man? You were so-called mighty and big, and now you eating the dust, man. Now you walking and crawling on your damn belly, man. Because they're going to bow down before your feet, man. That's so hard for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to even fathom, because you've been bowing down to Esau for 500 years, man. Right? So, go get more in that, man. Right? It's the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 15. It says, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman. So, he says he's going to put enmity, right? It's going to be a problems pretty much between the serpent and the woman. It says, and between thy seed and her seed, it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Right? So Eve's seed begat righteousness, right? Begat Noah, who begat Shem, Eber, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, right? The 12 tribes, man. Right? You, man. Right? You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So the seed of the serpent, right? The seed of the devil, right? The seed of wickedness is going to be at enmity with the seed of the woman. Now, who's at enmity with the seed of Jacob, the chosen seed line? Right? Let's find out from the beginning, man. Right? First of all, Cain and Abel was one thing. Cain was of the seed of the wicked one, man. Right? Slocky. Right? Cain was of the seed of the wicked one. Let's get that first. Right? Let's get that point first. Through the spirit. Right, Slocky, hold on. Right, Slocky. Jay Connor. Alright, so this is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2. Is this what I want? Slocky. That's not what I want. 2 Peter. Bear with me. I just kind of threw up my square with that. All right, so 2 Peter. That's 1 Peter. It's not Peter, man. I don't think. Bear with me. Salaki is real. Right, I'm trying to find this. Okay, for 3. All right, I think it's in First John 3 and verse 12. It says, "Not as Cain, who slew, who is of that wicked one." Now, Cain is of the seed of the serpent, right? You see that? It says, "And slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil and his brother's righteous." Now, who else wanted to slay their brother, man? Right, that's what I was getting at. Right, so you had Cain, right, who was of the seed of the serpent, and then that got translated to none other than Esau, right? Because Esau wanted to slay his brother, right? Let's get that in the book of Genesis 27. It's like this book of Genesis chapter 27, verse 41. It says, "And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him." And this is the exact reason Cain hated Abel, man. Because his own works was evil, man. Right? It says, "And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob." Right? He wants to slay Jacob. That's what it's all about. He wants to put Jacob to death, man. Just like Cain put Abel to death. Right? Because he's the seed of the wicked one. He's at enmity with the seed of the woman. Right? And his anger tears perpetually, man. He still hates you to this day. Right? You want to love him so bad, man. Right? It's the book of Genesis, Ezekiel. Right? Chapter 37. Through the Spirit in verse... It's like you're talking about 37. Verse 35. 35. In verse 5. It says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and have shed the blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." Right? So he said they had a perpetual hatred, meaning they hated Israel forever, and they're going to continue to hate. Their hate continues to grow, right? Because they're at enmity with the seed of the woman, right? And the woman is at enmity with them. I'm going to get another quick precept. Right? Book of Amos, right? The Spirit of the Lord is book of Amos. Chapter 1. Right in verse 11, it says, "And thus saith the Lord, for 4 transgressions of Edom, and for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I would not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever," man. So Esau has kept his wrath for you blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans forever, man. Right? He hates your guts, man. Right? And that's the serpent, man. Right? Being at enmity with the woman. Right? The seed of the woman. Right? The seed of Eve. The seed of the righteous, man. Right? And it's always going to be that, man. The Lord made it that way. Right? The Lord is always going to be that way. Let's get that in Sirach 33. Right? It's the book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 13. It says, "As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as liketh him best. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the sinner against the godly, and so is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly." Right? So the Lord made it that way, man, from the beginning. Because he's a perfectly balanced God, man. False balance is an abomination to the Lord. That's Proverbs 11:1. Right? So that serpent, man, so that serpent, was created to hate the righteous. Right? Because you needed that good against evil, man. Right? That wicked one, man. Cain, Esau, the serpent. All the same spirit, man. It's all the same exact spirit. Right? Now, I wanted to touch on one more thing. When it says, "It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel." So the serpent will bruise the head of the woman's seed. Now, who's the head of Jacob? Right? Find out. It's the book of 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ. So the head of every man is Christ. Now the seed of the serpent bruised Christ, man. Right? How did they bruise him? Right? They crucified him. Right? The Romans, they crucified Christ. Right? That's exactly what happened. Right? They smote the shepherd and the sheep scattered, man. Right? They bruised our head and we bruised his heel. How we're going to bruise his heel? Because we're going to take this kingdom down, man. Right? We're going to take the kingdom down. Thus said the Lord. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, right? Chapter 6. Right? Chapter 6 and verse 8. It says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Right? So Jacob, because they was fighting in the womb, Esau came out first, but Jacob had his heel. Now that's symbolizing us taking his kingdom down. I'm just going to say that here. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we're going to take down the seed of the serpent, man. Right? We're going to cast them down from heaven, down to hell, man. Right? The wicked is going to get turned into hell, man. Thus said the Lord. Thus said the Bible. All right, so that's just quick rapid fire precepts. Lord willing, that was edifying. Right, Israel, stay strong, stay fast, and stay praying through the spirit of Hamashiach Yahushai. Right, I love y'all. Shalom.